The night feels different again tonight, doesn't it? Not louder, not dramatic, just heavy in a way your spirit cannot ignore anymore. Something inside you has been trying to wake up for a long time, but every distraction, every betrayal, every disappointment, every moment of self-doubt has tried to keep it asleep. And maybe you thought the exhaustion was normal. Maybe you thought constantly feeling misunderstood was just part of life. Maybe you convinced yourself that shrinking your voice, hiding your presence, and dimming your energy was the only way to survive in a world that seemed uncomfortable with who you truly are. But chosen one, hear this clearly tonight. Survival was never your final destination. You were not sent here merely to endure life. You were sent here to shift atmospheres, to awaken people, to carry something into this world that cannot be copied by anyone else. There is a reason your life has never felt ordinary. There is a reason you always sensed more beneath the surface of every conversation, every room, every connection. You noticed things other people ignored. You felt energies before situations unfolded. You could sense deception before proof ever appeared. And because you carried that awareness, because your spirit could detect what others refused to confront, many people reacted to you in ways that never made sense at first. Some hated you without cause. Some envied you without reason. Some tried to compete with you while pretending to support you. Some smiled in your face while secretly hoping you would fail. And for years, you absorbed all of that pain as if it were evidence that something about you needed fixing. But what if the attacks were never proof of weakness? What if they were proof of significance? The truth is, darkness does not waste energy attacking empty vessels. It does not organize against people who have already surrendered their purpose. It does not target individuals who comfortably follow the crowd and never challenge the systems around them. No. The strongest resistance always comes against the people carrying something powerful enough to threaten what darkness depends on. And whether you realized it or not, your presence has always disrupted things simply by existing. That is why certain rooms became uncomfortable when you entered them. That is why insecure people projected onto you. That is why manipulative people tried to control you. That is why wounded people either became deeply drawn to your light or intensely threatened by it. Your spirit exposed things people were trying desperately to hide from themselves. And let me tell you something important right now. Your kindness was never weakness. Your sensitivity was never a flaw. Your deep thinking was never overreacting. Your spirit has always been tuned to frequencies most people cannot even perceive. But because you spent so much of your life surrounded by people disconnected from themselves, you began questioning your own discernment. You started apologizing for instincts that were actually protecting you. You started silencing truths your soul already knew. You tried to become easier to handle, easier to understand, easier to accept. But chosen one, the assignment on your life was never meant to fit comfortably inside small spaces. There were moments you almost gave up completely, moments where betrayal cut so deeply that you wondered if trusting anyone again was even possible. Moments where rejection made you question your value. Moments where loneliness became so heavy you started believing maybe you truly did not belong anywhere. But what you called isolation was often preparation. What you called delay was often protection. And what you thought was punishment was many times separation from environments that could not carry the version of you that is now emerging. You need to understand this carefully because this changes everything. Every major attack in your life came right before growth. Every deep season of confusion appeared right before clarity. Every painful ending arrived before transformation. There is a pattern to your life, and patterns always reveal intention. The enemy does not panic over someone without purpose. The pressure came because your future carries weight. The warfare intensified because your awakening threatens systems designed to keep people spiritually asleep. And for years, the strategy against you was simple. keep you distracted by self-doubt long enough that you never fully step into your power. But something is changing now. You can feel it. The version of you that tolerated disrespect is dying. The version of you that begged for validation is fading. The version of you that constantly explained itself to people, committed to misunderstanding you, no longer has the energy to continue that cycle. You are awakening to the realization that your purpose does not require universal approval. Your calling does not need permission from wounded people. Your light does not need to become smaller just to make insecure individuals feel more comfortable around you. There is authority growing inside you now. Not arrogance, not ego, not the loud, desperate energy of someone trying to prove themselves. No. This is quieter than that, stronger than that. This is the calm certainty of someone beginning to recognize what they carry. And once a chosen one truly understands what they carry, fear starts losing its grip. Because fear survives through confusion. Fear survives through forgetfulness. Fear survives by convincing powerful people they are powerless. But clarity destroys that illusion. You were never meant to spend your entire life apologizing for your presence. You were never meant to abandon your gifts just because others could not understand them. And you were never meant to continuously dim your spirit to fit into environments that were never assigned to hold your destiny. Some people only had access to you for a season. Some relationships only existed to teach you discernment. Some betrayals happened because certain individuals could not go where you were going. And painful as that truth may be, it is still truth. The next season of your life requires a different version of you, a version that no longer negotiates with fear every time opportunity appears, a version that stops abandoning itself to keep others comfortable, a version that trusts what God placed inside of them instead of constantly needing external confirmation. Because the reality is this: people can only delay you when you keep doubting yourself. The moment you fully align with your assignment, confusion begins breaking apart. And yes, there will still be opposition. There will still be misunderstanding. There will still be moments where people project their insecurity onto your growth. But now you will recognize it differently. You will stop interpreting resistance as proof that you should quit. Instead, you will begin seeing resistance as confirmation that movement is happening. Every attack will reveal impact. Every criticism will expose discomfort. Every attempt to discourage you will reveal that your presence is reaching places darkness hoped would remain untouched. You are entering a season where your voice matters more than your fear. A season where your obedience matters more than public opinion. A season where the gifts you tried hiding will begin demanding expression. And that may terrify parts of you at first, because growth always stretches identity. But deep inside, beneath the fear, your spirit already knows this path is real. You have felt it calling you your entire life. There are people connected to your future who need the healed version of you. There are lives waiting for the wisdom your pain produced. There are rooms waiting for the authority your survival created. There are souls waiting for the exact light you almost gave up on because others treated it like a problem instead of a blessing. Imagine if you had succeeded in shrinking yourself completely. Imagine how many people would have remained trapped in darkness because the person assigned to help awaken them became too exhausted to continue shining. That is why this moment matters, because this is not just emotional motivation. This is awakening, this is remembrance. This is the moment where you stop seeing your history as evidence against yourself and start recognizing it as preparation. Every battle taught discernment, every heartbreak built depth, every rejection strengthened resilience, every lonely night developed spiritual endurance. None of it was meaningless. None of it was wasted. And now the question becomes, what will you do with this understanding? Because clarity creates responsibility. Once you know your light was never the problem, you can no longer keep hiding it the same way. Once you realize your sensitivity is connected to purpose, you stop apologizing for feeling deeply. Once you understand your spirit was designed to awaken others, you stop reducing yourself to fit environments committed to staying asleep. So from this moment forward, stop asking why everyone could not handle you. Stop asking why your journey looked harder than others. Stop asking why you always felt different. Different was the assignment. Different was the preparation. Different was the evidence that your spirit was never designed to blend into systems that reward silence over truth. You are not behind, you are not forgotten, you are not disqualified because of what you survived. In fact, many of the things that tried to destroy you actually revealed how protected your life has always been. You should not have survived some of those battles emotionally, mentally, spiritually, but you did. Not because you are lucky, because purpose preserved you. And now heaven is calling you higher. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. Rise out of the mindset that keeps replaying old wounds. Rise out of the identity built around rejection. Rise out of the fear of being fully seen. Rise out of the exhausting habit of minimizing your own power just to avoid making others uncomfortable. Chosen one, the world does not need another watered-down version of you. It needs the real version, the awakened version, the healed version, the fearless version, the version that no longer apologizes for carrying light into dark places, the version that finally understands this truth. You were never being attacked because you were weak. You were being attacked because your awakening changes things. And the moment you fully accept that, everything changes.